On my birthday, I got a text from Dad, "Sold your laptop, your sister needs a new phone, be grateful we feed you." Then he added, "Also you'll pay her tuition $6,000 by Friday." I said no chance. He replied, "Then get out, you're cut off." So I left quietly. The next morning they found what I left on the table. Now my sister's panicking, my mom's screaming, and my dad's calling every number he can. I turned 19 last week. No party, no cake. I didn't expect much, not in this house, but I wasn't expecting what came next either. It started with a text from my dad while I was still in bed. First thing I read on my birthday was that he sold my laptop, said my sister needed a new phone and I should be grateful they still fed me. Then he added I'd need to pay her tuition $6,000 by Friday. I guess he figured since I had a job and a small scholarship I was now the family ATM. I stared at the screen for a long time. No anger, just the slow heavy wave of disbelief. My laptop wasn't just for fun, it was for school, for work, for everything. Gone, just like that. Sold without a word. I replied, "No. That's all. Just no." A few minutes later he told me to get out. That I was cut off. No room, no food, nothing. Just like that. So I packed. No yelling, no confrontation. I didn't give them the satisfaction. Just grabbed what I could carry. Left the rest. I knew they wouldn't notice right away, they don't look past their own plates at dinner. But I left one thing behind on the kitchen table. Something I printed at school 2 days earlier, just in case. A folder with everything they never bothered to ask about. Scholarship award letters, job offer details, copies of deposits I'd made into a private account they didn't know existed. All in my name. Not a cent of theirs helped. And on top of it a single piece of paper, my emancipation certificate. Signed 6 months ago. They never even noticed I filed. No phone, no tracking. I factory reset it and left it in the drawer. Changed every password. Took the train to a friend's place and haven't looked back. Next morning I heard from someone else, my sister's panicking. My mom screaming. My dad's been calling every number he can except mine. Because that one's already gone. Permanently. They thought I had nothing. Thought they could squeeze one last thing out of me. They were wrong. I spent the first night on a futon in my friend Jordan's spare room. Quiet neighborhood, no yelling through the walls, no doors slamming, no tension thick enough to cut. I didn't sleep much though. Not because I missed home, because I didn't. And that scared me a little. The morning after I left, Jordan nudged me awake with a coffee and a half smile. Word had already gotten out. Apparently, my sister had a meltdown before school. She tore through the house looking for me, screaming that I ruined everything. Mom started blaming each of them. Dad for pushing me too far, my sister for always needing more. Then she read the folder. That's when everything went off the rails. They thought I was barely scraping by. That I was still under their thumb. What they didn't know was that I had been planning my exit for months. The scholarship I won wasn't small. It covered most of my tuition. I'd been working part-time at a logistics warehouse since I was 16, saving every spare dollar in a hidden account. Dad never asked where I went after school and Mom only cared if I was around to help clean or fix something. Jordan's phone lit up with a string of texts and missed calls from numbers we didn't recognize. I guess they figured I'd be hiding out with him. He didn't answer. Didn't have to. They'd already lost the only leverage they had. By noon I got a message through a mutual friend. My dad tried calling my school. Said he needed access to my financial aid info. Claimed he was paying my bills and deserved to know where his money was going. They told him to kick rocks. I don't blame my sister completely. She's 17, always been the favorite, always handed everything, but she didn't ask to be used like this. Still, she sure didn't say no when they took my things. Or when they demanded I cover her tuition. Entitlement's hard to unlearn when it's baked into everything. I hadn't planned on making noise when I left. I was just going to vanish, build my own life, and let them figure it out. But now watching them scramble, realizing they don't even know who I am anymore, it hits different. They thought I was stuck. Powerless. Turns out, the quiet kid had already walked away. By the end of the week, I was still staying at Jordan's, but I'd started filing paperwork for campus housing. I hadn't told many people what happened, I didn't want the drama. But when you leave like I did, people start asking questions. I wasn't using my phone anymore. Left it behind, wiped and reset. No SIM, no number. But I still had my laptop. Not the one they sold, but a used backup I bought cheap and kept hidden in a storage locker I paid for in cash. Old, slow, but it worked. I used it to check my email and school messages through campus Wi-Fi. That's how I found out the story was spreading. A professor emailed me asking if everything was okay at home because my dad had tried to call the department. Said he was my financial sponsor and needed to know if I was safe. The tone of the email made it clear she didn't buy it. Later, I logged into a private group chat we'd used for a class project last semester, not social media, just a low-key Discord server. That's when I saw it. People from back home were talking. Someone had posted that my mom was calling family and saying I ran off after stealing money. Same lies, different spin. I didn't engage directly. I just uploaded a redacted version of the file I'd left on the kitchen table. Enough to show that I'd been legally independent for months, that I hadn't taken a cent from them, and that I was the one who'd been used. Screenshots of the text. No commentary. Let the truth speak. Jordan helped me lock it down, no comments, no sharing. Just a quiet drop into a chat a few trusted people could see. That was enough. Apparently, someone else showed it to my cousin Lena. She was close with my sister and used to buy into all their crap, but this time she saw it clearly. She didn't message me directly, she couldn't, but Jordan got a ping that night from someone using her initials, saying she didn't know what they'd done to push me that far, but it was probably worse than we knew. That's when it really hit me, I hadn't just left a house. I'd escaped a system, one built on silence, control, and a fake family image they worked hard to protect. And now that silence was gone. I moved into student housing that Monday. Small room, shared kitchen, beat-up mattress, but it was mine. No one barging in. No locks mysteriously changed. No threats hanging over my head like storm clouds. By then, Jordan had filtered every attempt they made to reach me through other people. They tried emailing the address tied to my old school account, already deactivated. Tried using old contacts, even messaging a former teacher to pass along a note. It was all desperate now. Clumsy. They never expected me to actually cut them off. My parents were still spinning. I'd been the quiet one, the helper, the kid who didn't complain. I was supposed to keep absorbing it, keep paying, keep sacrificing, keep smiling through it. That's what they taught me, don't talk back, don't make waves, and above all, don't walk away. Too bad I'd learned how. From what Jordan heard through the grapevine, they were losing it. My dad went to my sister's school trying to demand someone fix this mess. He told her not to worry, that I'd pay her tuition. That I'd come around. But I was already gone, legally and physically, and none of their pressure worked anymore. When they finally realized the money wasn't coming, things went sideways. My mom blamed my dad for pushing too hard. My dad blamed me for embarrassing the family. My sister? She started reaching out to people who used to be close with me, trying to guilt them into helping. One of them messaged Jordan. Just one sentence, tell him she cried all night. He didn't bother replying. The laptop they sold? I filed a police report. I had the serial number and receipts. They'd sold it through a local pawn shop and I had proof it was mine. Technically, that case is still open, but I don't expect anything to come of it. I didn't file to get it back. I filed because people like them don't think actions have consequences. I wanted a paper trail. A record. I also contacted the Scholarship Foundation directly. Gave them updated contact info, told them I'd left home for safety reasons and cut all financial ties. They understood immediately. I wasn't the first. That week, I finished setting up my own emergency account through a student aid resource center. They helped with food vouchers, textbooks, and even a few legal questions. I showed them the emancipation papers and the texts. Their eyes didn't widen. Just a slow nod. They'd seen it before. People think walking away means slamming a door, screaming, burning bridges. But sometimes it just means disconnecting everything. Phone, ties, expectations. And then finally peace. A month passed. Not a single step back. No contact, no slip-ups. I stayed off social media, kept my head down, focused on school and work. It was strange at first, the quiet. No one yelling my name from another room, no demands, no guilt trips. Just the sound of my own life moving forward. Then Jordan called me one night with an update, not from curiosity, just because he figured I should know. My dad showed up at his job. Tried to act calm at first, like it was a casual visit. Said he wanted to pass along an urgent family matter. Jordan didn't engage. He just walked to the back office, told his manager, and had him removed from the property. Security footage, witness report, everything documented. Another trail. Another reminder I wasn't theirs to summon anymore. Not long after, I got a letter. No return address, but the handwriting was obvious, my mom's. Sloppy panicked. Inside were 5 pages of emotional manipulation. We only did what was best for you, you owe us for raising you, your sister's suffering, and it's your fault. At the end was a request, help them pay for a new apartment. Apparently, the landlord found out they'd been collecting money meant for my education and got wind of the laptop mess too. Their lease wasn't renewed. My sister's school had placed a hold on her account. No tuition, no registration. I didn't reply. I didn't even keep the letter. I scanned it, saved a copy, then dropped the paper into the dumpster behind the campus cafe. Gone. Just like the version of me they thought they could control. Sometimes I think about what they're doing now. Whether they've figured out just how badly they lost. Not just me, but their grip on the story, the illusion that they were in charge. I never wanted revenge. I didn't sabotage them or make calls behind their backs. I didn't need to. They did it to themselves. They raised someone who paid attention, who learned in silence, who planned in shadows. Someone who gave them every chance to do right and then walked away when they didn't. And now? Now they're left with nothing but their noise. And me? I've got peace. And a future. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps me keep bringing you more real, raw stories like this one. Thanks for watching.